Tools to fight misinformation. Uncovering the psyops. Life is psychological. Everything in life is psychological. Money is psychological. Politics is psychological. Humans are psychological. Everything is psychological. Sports is psychological. You hear it said all the time that sports or life is 90% mental and 10% physical. And that's something in my life I kind of got wrong. Actually, I didn't kind of get it wrong. I really got it wrong. See, I spent 100% of my life working on the physical and 0% working on the mental. I got all the way to right under the NHL. I got all the way to the AHL to AAA. Just off of really physical talent and abilities alone, and working my butt off and working out and skating and working on my skills. And I did very well because of that in the God-given talent. But had I worked on my mind, the thing that gave me the most benefit, the 80-20 rule, right? Focusing on what's most important, I could have got much farther, but I didn't. And that's the story for many people in life. Much of life is 90% mental and 10% physical. It's not really, who's a bigger, faster, stronger person. It's not how much you work out necessarily, and it's not what you're putting in your body even, or even the sleep you're getting. Even those are things I love talking about. I love refining, I love polishing and becoming a disciplined human being and mastering oneself. Your brain is the most powerful thing in the world. And if you choose to get something, by golly, you will get it. If you look back and think about anything in your life you truly wanted, truly, and I mean truly wanted, and I can think of 2 or 3 big things, 2 or 3 massive things. I'm not talking about like a Snickers bar or, this great pair of shoes you wanted, but those count too. But truly thinking about the things you really, really want in life, you get them. You get them. I have a couple. My wife, playing for the U.S. national team. 2 of the big ones I have in my life, where I looked at my parents, I looked them in the eye and said, I will play for the U.S. national team. I will do that. There was no doubt in my mind. And I did that. And then I did the same thing with my wife, and ending other relationships, and ultimately getting what I wanted, because I set my every fiber in my body on that. Every fiber in my mind was locked on that goal, and I would achieve that. And the other one I'm not going to share, but I know there's probably 2, 3, 4 things in your life you said, I will do that, and you did it. It's psychological. Humans are psychological. Life is psychological. The economy is psychological. Inflation is psychological. All these things are psychological. So that's where, when we talk about fiat currencies, it's by dictate, by decree, psychological. Inflation, psychological. Disinformation, misinformation, psychological. These things are psychological. That's why we talk about psychological operations, psyops. So important, because this is life. This is what we are dealing with. This is the fight we are in, the culture war, the psyop war, the information war, the bio war, the cyber war. We are in war. You might not like war, but war likes you. So this is a little article that I wrote, link in our bio, if you want to go see the physical version, or go read. If you're somewhere you can't listen, if you're going to go read the things we've been writing and writing out, transcripts, etc. If you want to see that, please go to the link in the bio, and you can see that for yourself and go check that out. And please subscribe to the channel, but also to the blog as well. So BJ Dichter and I, this is a tweet, the face of the leader in the face of the Canadian trucker convoy. This is called Tools to Fight Disinformation, Uncovering PSYOPs. This will be a quick one. The leader and face of the Canadian trucker convoy knows firsthand what it's like to fight lies and disinformation in the face of seemingly insurmountable vilification. If you remember, completely peaceful protest, people being thrown in jail, their accounts literally confiscated, their wealth confiscated, their time and energy confiscated. The government just said, we'll do whatever we want. Emergency orders, we'll do whatever we want. Rights and freedoms stripped. Nothing you can do about it. Your little old lady, you wanted to donate $20 to a bunch of peaceful people protesting, not vaccine, not that, mandates. Government mandating you do something in life. Kind of like we saw with the Tea Party and Occupy Wall Street 10, 12 years ago. And how they mandated you, making you, forcing you to buy something, forcing you to buy healthcare. Well, this is forcing you to put something in your body you don't want to do. Where does this go, guys? Now, people can say all they want. People can say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, all these different things. But how come this continually happens? How come we're continually be forced? Well, we don't want to ban guns. Well, we don't want to do this. We heard this for decades. And now what are they doing? Literally out here pining for banning guns here in America, banning different types of guns. But we're told for years it wouldn't lead to this, right? Even the LGBTQ community, right? You can talk all day, and I don't want to go on a tangent, but I'm showing you the psyops, what's going on, the inevitable march down this road. And I don't know if you want to call it a slippery slope or not, because I don't know if that's the right term or not. But you have well, we just want to be together. We just want that to be okay. Okay, well, that's okay. We just want to be married. Okay, well, that's okay. Well, now we're talking about minor attracted people. I mean, guys, we've gone from here all the way over here, right? You take this world and you continually, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. Period. At the end of the day. And my point isn't to argue one single issue. It's not to say, hey, Brandon, this LGBT, I don't agree with it. That's not the point. My point is, you are being psyoped over and over and over again, whether you like it or not. You're the frog in the boiling pot. And this goes for everything. This goes for politics. This goes for the war in Ukraine. This goes for the war in Afghanistan. It goes for presidents. Everything. Sports, you name it. My point is, we must be able to see what is actually happening. You must be able to see these things to make coherent decisions, because my thought here, my sneaking suspicion, is that most people are the frog in the boiling pot. I am too, but some more than others, right? Some of us more than others. Probably many people here watching, probably not necessarily those people. But how can we help other people? How can we give them the tools to fight? Because many people are just going along to get along and don't even step back and think for 2 seconds, what is actually happening right now? Where have we gone? Where have we come from? Agenda 2030, they used to be Agenda 21. They keep hitting their goals, guys. They keep moving the goalposts. The Overton window keeps shifting. Cleon Skousen warned us 70, 80 years ago what the communists, what the Fabianists, what the socialists were doing. We're going to give you, Lenin and Stalin, we're going to give you little bits of pieces of socialism, so that way you wake up one day and you have communism. You're, in essence, the frog in the boiling pot, and we don't have to fight you. You'll fall like overripe fruit into our hands without a bullet being fired. And I'm paraphrasing, but this is what's happening. If you don't wake up and get involved, you will be governed by your inferiors, as Plato said. So the face of the trucker convoy knows what this is like, knows exactly what's going on. Again, this is a Twitter post that he posted, BJ did, Dictor, whom I run political spaces with every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. So please come in and join us. We just did it earlier today. On Twitter, come to spaces, come on stage, talk, let's hash it out. This is how the world is going to be run from now on. Debates, everything, presidents, everything will be run from here. Transparency, actual debate, actually figuring out what's going to happen and distilling it down, the crucible, burning it down, iron sharpens iron. No more this running and hiding, Dr. Hotez style. I'm going to run and hide, and I'm going to do all kinds of crazy stuff, and you don't even know what we're going to do, as I'm getting called here, as you don't even know what's going to happen. Well, why? What are we doing? What are we doing? No running, no hiding. It's done. It's over. BJ and I are aiming to bridge the gap between the consciousness of Bitcoiners and people in the political world. What can we do to bring people together and build a community of free thinkers and people sticking up for liberty and first principles? Here, this tweet that he written about Scott Adams. 7 Signs of Cognitive Dissonance from Gad Saad, who is an amazing professor. If you haven't checked him out or seen him, please go check him out on YouTube. Professor Gad Saad explains how scientists are not impervious to what Scott Adams' 7 signs of cognitive dissonance are. Number 1, change the topic. So when you see people doing these things, you start to understand there's cognitive dissonance there, and there's something that either they don't know, or maybe they're trying to hide, or trying to pull over on you, right? So this is how you fight disinformation. This is how you fight things. This is how we see things. This is why it's so important. This is what we've been talking about forever, questioning everything with boldness. How can we get to the bottom of things? How can we learn? And that was my promise to you. How can we help people learn and grow? Number 1, change the topic. And I'm guilty of these things sometimes too, and I'm trying to eradicate all these things from my life. And I try to speak on what I know, and I try to learn the things I don't know. So change topic, number 1. Ad hominem, number 2. Mind reading is number 3. Number 4 is word salad. Number 5 is analogy instead of reason. Number 6 is too complicated to explain. And 7, so you're saying, straw man argument. So you're saying, so what you're saying is, the straw man argument. The one-off. We have to steel man our arguments. So I put a link in here as well. You can see Professor Saad's video as well, and him talking about this on his YouTube channel. So I highly, highly recommend, because he is 1,000 times more brilliant than I ever will be. Brilliant, man. And how to think. You don't have to agree with everything, but you have to understand how to think. How we must think and discern. If we can understand where people are coming from, and that we are all psychological beings, like we spoke about, and all are operating from some level of cognitive dissonance, then we can better debate and share ideas. Once someone is too far down the road, though, it is almost better to walk away and find someone else to communicate with. Right? What's the saying? There's no point in arguing with the pig. They're going to get confused and you're going to get angry. Something like that. Butchered it. Much of society, especially media and academia, is operating off of false assumptions and the false prison of two ideas, thinking that there's only two different options in life, red versus blue. No, that's not how life works. There's gray. There's a lot of gray. Perpetuated by the confuseopoly we have created for ourselves, which we talk about all the time here, right? Mass distraction, mass confusion that try to get people to just, you know what, it's just too confusing. I'm going to put my head in the sand, not going to worry about it. Great. Well, you just handed the keys of the kingdom to your inferiors, to the people who are seeking power, evil people who are seeking power. This is why we see so much discord and dissension. Polarization and hate are fueled by those looking for eyeballs to pad their bottom line. We, the plebs, are caught in the crosshairs and become cannon fodder. Simple as that. Freedom loses out. Fiat currencies incentivize this behavior because they lose their value. Some quicker, some very quickly. And everyone is left thinking, well, how can I get rid of this? What is good for me now? They're left thinking, what is good for me now? YOLO. Because my wealth, my time and energy is running out here. The sand time is running out quick. That dollar is losing its value quick. Instead of worrying about how it can impact the future for us all, can you imagine if you held a money that grew in value over time? Every amount you had, every digit you had grew in value instead of lost value. Now you're thinking long term. Now you're thinking, how can I do more for others? How can I change the world? You're getting to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and you're getting to self-actualization instead of worrying about how you're going to make the bills next month. This is generally a subconscious matter, though, this is generally a subconscious matter that most don't take time to think about. How the broken money system is destroying their every waking second. It is the frog in the boiling pot. Most don't see it because they're so caught in the day-to-day grind of go punch in, punch out, and then when they do have a few hours and they're ready to relax, they don't want to, right? They've been beaten down, and when they do, they walk into confuseopoly, they're beaten over the head and kicked in the groin with ridiculousness in media, whatever it is, social media, that they just shut down. You know what? No, I'm good. Just give me my fantasy sports. I'm going to turn on the game, and I'm going to forget about it. And then the evil wipes their hands clean and says, yes, we have them. We have them right where we want them. Most people are tuned out, guys. We can do our thing. So keep your head up. Keep your head up. We have the solution. Separation of money and state. Stay strong. I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Everything I say, trust but verify. This is not financial advice. It's freedom advice. Please share this out because the algorithm hates truth. The algorithm hates people talking about this stuff. The algorithm hates it. You're probably watching this, to be quite honest. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be totally real. So we are our best line of defense for truth, freedom, liberty, free markets, capitalism, truth and honesty, quite honestly. That's it. Good versus evil. I'd like to think we're on the good side, fighting for others, fighting for liberty and freedom, other people's rights. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.